TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom ve'erev tov, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. Indian Minister of External Affairs Subrahmanyam Jaishankar thanks Israel for its support of India in its war on terror. Mossad Director David Barnea pledges to thwart Iran's continued efforts to achieve nuclear weapon capabilities. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calls on world leaders to confront the plague of antisemitism in their respective countries. India and Israel are deepening their strategic relations as the leaders of both nations view one another as complementary partners. Indian Minister of External Affairs Subrahmanyam Jaishankar concluded a visit to Israel, during the course of which he held a meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem, and prior to which he had concluded a meeting with his Israeli counterpart Gideon Sa'ar, during the course of which both top diplomats worked on hammering out a comprehensive joint work plan for enhancing the bilateral Indian-Israeli relations.
India faced only last November, after my visit, a terror attack. It is another opportunity to pay our condolences for the people of India for this terrible terror attack. Terror is a mutual threat for both countries, and we are standing always with the people of India.
Let me first of all convey our very, very sincere, deep condolences at the loss of life due to the terror attack at the Hanukkah celebrations in Bondi Beach. I want to say that we condemn it in the strongest possible terms. Where India and Israel are concerned, we are both countries who have a policy of zero tolerance towards terrorism. We appreciate your consistent support to our fight against terrorism in all its forms and manifestations.
Our relations, as we see it, is a long-term strategic partnership, and today I believe that we will adopt a very comprehensive and ambitious working plan for our bilateral relations in 2026. I'm looking forward to our discussions. India is the biggest democracy. India is also the fastest growing economy in the world. I believe that the future is India, and it is natural that we want to have a share in the future.
Today, Minister, we will, as you noted, be discussing our strategic partnership, which has really developed very significantly in the last decade. It has a G2G dimension, a B2B dimension, one between P2P, between peoples as well. And I would say it's really, there are a very large number of domains today that our relationship touches in one form or the other. But what we will do, building on the work plan which our teams have finalized, is really to address ourselves to the task of purposing our relationship for the world that awaits us. Because in many ways, we are very, very complementary partners, and we must make the most of that.
Meanwhile, elsewhere in Jerusalem, Israeli President Yitzhak Herzog, during a ceremony honoring 12 exceptional Mossad agents for their exemplary contributions to the security of the State of Israel, praised the Mossad intelligence agency for its relentless activities in degrading the enemies of the State of Israel.
You who fight every single day in near and far districts with courage, creativity, and divine bravery, and place their lives in harm's way to fulfill the objective. Those who turned the Mossad into a sophisticated organization that our enemies are fearful of by their single fundamental recognition, there is no place around the world in which the hands of Mossad won't reach them. Those past 2 years, we have witnessed the level of commitment to operate in every sector for the purpose of the security of the state. It is present in every place, surprises our enemies, including in places that they had considered as safe.
President Herzog continued by voicing hope that Mossad would also achieve a breakthrough in expanding Israel's circle of peace with neighboring Arab nations. However, while Mossad plays an instrumental role in maintaining relations with countries that have yet to normalize their relations with the State of Israel, the Mossad's most important role is to ensure the continuity of the State of Israel and the protection of its peoples, as well as the Jewish communities in the diaspora, which are facing the plague of anti-Semitism globally.
As you have altered the reality in our region with an abundance of sophistication and creativity, you will face many plots, maybe also in processes that will positively alter the sense of peace in the region. However, we will not forget even for a single moment that you have a number of additional fronts, to include the front of combating terrorism and anti-Semitism. As we have witnessed during these very days in Australia, it once again regrettably proved that our national homeland of the Jewish people has an existential role, and so do our security forces, to include Mossad.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, for his part, seized the opportunity to stress the vital importance of maintaining Israel's upper hand in the face of an unceasing and rapidly changing reality.
I want to tell you that there is no option in a lifetime of a nation, maybe even throughout life itself, to rest on one's laurels. It is a temporary situation. Reality moves at a rapid pace. We, in my assessment, change much faster than our enemies. But this has to be proven in action. And I am convinced and believe that we have those capabilities, that you have those capabilities.
Mossad Director David Barnea also addressed the ceremony, during the course of which he chose to initially highlight the continued threat of Iran's nuclear ambitions.
In spite of the fact that the Ayatollah regime in a moment's notice woke up to find out that Iran is completely exposed and penetrated, Iran has not abandoned its ambition to destroy the State of Israel. Iran believes that it could once again fool the world to realize another bad nuclear deal. We did not and will not allow a bad deal to take form. A country that has engraved the destruction of Israel on its flag, deceived the world while developing nuclear weapons, and has maintained uranium at levels that cannot be justified other than fulfilling its will to achieve nuclear weapons. This is a country that will break out at the moment it is made possible to do so. The idea of developing a nuclear program persists as a beat in their heart. We have the responsibility to ensure that the nuclear program, that was severely damaged in close cooperation with the Americans, will never be activated.
The Mossad director continued by addressing the choice of both state and non-state actors to utilize terrorism against Israel, pledging further that the Mossad will hunt down those who engage in terrorism against Israelis and Jews globally and will hold them accountable for their actions.
The criminal idea of terrorism, to harm innocent civilians, was and remains the foundation of the current Iranian regime's security strategy. Jihadist elements, to include the Islamic State and others, are also fixated on targeting every Jew globally. Our hearts go out to the families of the victims in Australia. The purpose of those terror attacks aims to break our resolve. Our resolve will not break. We will continue to celebrate our holidays and live our lives in Israel and around the world. We will locate the terrorists and their enablers, the Iranians. We will also locate those who dispatched the jihadists, regardless of where they might flee to. We will settle scores with them. Justice will be served, and justice will be seen. They know this full well. The light will overwhelm the darkness.
Following the ceremony at the president's residence, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released a filmed statement in which he called on world leaders, particularly in the West, to heed his warnings about confronting anti-Semitism in their respective countries.
אני דורש מממשלות המערב
I demand that Western governments do what is necessary to combat anti-Semitism and provide the necessary security and safety for Jewish communities around the world. And they should heed our warnings. I demand action from them now.
פעולה עכשיו.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to also thank you if you are a supporter of TV7 Israel, since your donation is essentially helping us produce our daily news from here in Jerusalem. If you haven't yet supported TV7 Israel, please consider doing so. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately, as ever, pray for our brothers and sisters facing persecution globally, along with prayers for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. Jonathan Hassan wishing you a Chag Chanukah Sameach. God willing, until our next update, Shalom from Jerusalem.